Jaws, for God's sakes, I'm exhausted, Jaws. Are you kidding me? As we welcome you to Nissan In-Game Live. I'm ready for a nap. 21-10, though, bottom line, in favor of your Philadelphia Eagles. Ron Jaworski, this one took nearly an hour, 45 minutes to play that first half.
Lots of penalties, Michael, lots of penalties. 21-10. And quite honestly, I'm watching the game, matchups, it's not that close. We're dominating this football game. If we don't have all the crazy penalties we had in that first half, this would be worse. We've got 300 yards at halftime. 300 yards. Derrick Henry's been stopped in his tracks.
Yeah.
And we're physically, talent-wise, we are dominating this football game.
Yeah, and you foresaw that with regard to Derrick Henry. You said if within that first 4 yards he gets that ball, he starts going north-south, it's going to be a problem for the Eagles. And he's got 21 yards on 7 carries.
Let's see, that's 3 yards per carry.
Good math, my man. I couldn't have done that. Thank you for helping out. But when you look at that, what's the game plan that's working for the Eagles?
Well, I think we're the defense playing number one. I mean, the defensive down linemen, and they're mixing up between 3 and 4 and 5. Linebackers scraping, safeties getting involved in the line of scrimmage. And right now, Tannehill has no chance. His receivers are depleted right now. They can't pass protect. I don't know what they can go to next. You can see they're struggling to find anything offensively, but the Eagles' defensive line has been outstanding.
It sure has. It's been outstanding. It's allowed for a little bit of running, but mostly passing. Did you think that the Birds, you talked about the 300 yards, and Hurts has a passer rating of 133.4, 268 yards in the first half passing for Jalen Hurts. Did you think that this would be part of the offensive game plan?
Yeah, I kind of did. When you look at how Tennessee's defense is structured right now, their defensive line is good against the run. They have no pass rush. They have none. 0 pass rush. And now you go with that mush rush against Jalen Hurts. So, keeping your lane, don't let him escape. Now they literally can't get near him. So that's certainly helping. And their secondary now depleted as well. So clearly Tennessee is struggling for a pass rush and struggling in coverage. And the Eagles wide receivers are having a field day.
We mentioned in passing the penalties. I can't figure it out. This offensive line of the Eagles is honed to a razor's edge. It really is. They've got 9 penalties. I will say that when you look at the penalties for Tennessee, they've got 4 for almost the same amount of yards as the Eagles do with their 9. But what do you make of this?
Yeah, penalties, it just is happening. They're kind of dumb penalties, leave procedure, not be lined up right. You're not seeing what I would call the flagrant penalties, those type of penalties that really do hurt you with the 15-yarders. But it has not been a clean game in the first half penalty-wise. But from a physical standpoint, a talent standpoint, it is so obvious the Eagles are better than this football team. Like I said, 21-10, yeah, you figure it's competitive. It's not that close. At this pace, unless Tennessee does something drastic in the second half, and you got to have players. I mean, they lose Burks, their really good wide receiver, on a tremendous catch he made in the end zone. They have no playmakers right now. You have no one to make a play. We have stopped Derrick Henry. He's done. He's out of this game. When you're 21-10, you can't turn around and hand it off for 4 yards in a cloud of dust. The game's going to be over. So they've got no weapons for Tannehill.
So if you're the Eagles, and matchups make fights, certainly, and football games, how do they switch things up? Do they continue to do what they do? Coming out third quarter has traditionally been pretty good for them. Yeah. What do they do in the third?
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think quite honestly, I think they can do anything they want. I think, they haven't run the football because they haven't tried. Because, they knew. It's funny, after last week's domination in the running game, 157 yards by Jalen Hurts, 200 by the running backs. It was total domination in the running game. And this is where I'm really impressed, Mike, with Shane Steichen. He looks at his opponent. He breaks down his opponent. He knows what his team can do. They can run the ball if they choose to, and they can throw the ball if they choose to. The weakness of the Tennessee Titans was their secondary and lack of a pass rush. Yeah. So despite all the greatness of last week in the running game, he abandoned the running game and said, hey, our best chance in this game is to throw the football. And so far, he's 100% correct.
Devontae Smith, 23.3 yards per catch. A.J. Brown, 20.3 yards per catch. A touchdown apiece for those two outstanding wide receivers. And Jalen Hurts, 18 of 25, 268. He was sacked twice, for goodness sakes, and a passer rating of 133.4. It's exciting to watch. And he really seems to have a handle on not only his offense, but what the defense does. He can react like that.
Yeah, it's funny. He has seen it all. One thing about Mike Vrabel, he's a good defensive-minded head coach. That's where he's cut his teeth in the league and in Ohio State, on defense. So he understands that part of it. I'm trying to see what defensively the Titans would like to take away from the Eagles. Right now, it's nothing. They can't take away anything. We can throw the tight end. We can throw the A.J. Brown, who had a big first half as well. We can throw to Devontae Smith. Gainwell's having a good first half. We can pick our poison that we want to throw at Tennessee right now. They can't stop us.
When the clock hits 0 at game's end, join Jaws, Barrett Brooks, Reuben Frank, and me as we bring you Eagles post-game live when the clock hits 0 on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Go Birds.